You know what? It's an absolute pleasure to have back on the channel. It seems like it's been such a long time. Spencer, Oliver, how have you been? I've missed you.
October Red, I have missed you too. Yeah, no, I've been really, really good, thanks. It's been super busy. Super busy. We've got so much going on. So looking forward to this fight. Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clarke tomorrow is going to be, it's going to be unbelievable. But yeah, really good. How are you been?
Listen, all the better for seeing you. Break the fight down for us, Spencer, because we need the boxing knowledge here. I hear so many people talk about the amateur pedigree versus the white-collar fighter versus the professional experience against the other. But break it down for us. It's not as easy as that, is it, Spen?
It certainly isn't. You know, I think that this is a fight that we're going into or that we're going to watch that is a guy that is proven against a guy that is unproven. Forget amateur pedigrees, because that doesn't mean anything, right? When you get into round 10, 11, 12 and you're still there, you know, that's not about amateur pedigree. That's not about technical ability. That's about mental strength. That's about the psychological battle. What I'm saying is Fabio Wardley has been there. He's proven. He's done it. You know, he's bitten down, bitten down his gum shield. Last time out against David Adelaide. Yes. What a performance he showed there. You know, he gritted his teeth. He come through some tough times. He done it. The coming of age fight for him was Nathan Gorman winning the British title. You know, you look at that performance and you go, he went in there and like he got rocked a little bit in the second round, come back again. He does get hurt, but he knows how to come through that. He doesn't lose his shape. He holds himself together, and I think that is just so important. We've seen that from Fabio Wardley, and we haven't seen it from Fraser Clarke. So what I'm saying is, yes, like you look at his amateur fights with like Joe Joyce and stuff like that, you go, yeah, that was tough, man, and he come through that. But that's 3 rounds. You know, we're talking about 12 rounds now. You know, we look at Fraser and you look at his short professional career that he's had and you go, yeah, he's doing really well. But it's at a level, not at this level. So we don't know. Like, Fabio's been at that level. We know he can do that. He can go through the gears. He can go through the levels. Can Fraser? We've not seen that yet. And that's the $1 million question. If Fraser can go through the levels, if Fabio can bring that out of him, we've got a serious fight. But going off what we know, the champion is a favourite because he's proven. So what I'm saying is, if you look at an opponent, we go Marius Wack. You go, when he boxed there, when was it, last year sometime at the York Hall, and it was boiling hot and everything else, you go, right, Fraser. This guy is like a great big guy that stands there, a bit like, you know, bit pedestrian, bit slow. Perfect guy that you could show that you can go through the gears, go through the levels, and we never saw it from Fraser, you know, and I admit, yeah, it was hot or whatever. Perhaps Marius Wack just couldn't bring that out of him. But what I'm saying is, he's not proven. So if he can't go through those levels and go through those gears, Fabio Wardley wins. And that's what I'm saying. So, you know, when you look at it, you go, mate, like, this is your coming of age fight. This is where we find out whether you're at that level or not. We know Fabio is. And this is where we find out whether you do. It's an intriguing fight for all those reasons. So I like to say, like, Fabio starts favourite for that reason. But now we find out if Fraser Clarke can do it or do it, you know, if he can step up to the plate. It's a great fight. It's a great undercard as well.
You know, when you look at the two fighters and you wipe the slate clean when they start in the pro game, it's almost like this is a fresh start. When you look at how Fraser's been built over time, fair enough, I know Fabio's got more fights in than him, but when you say you level peg them, would you say part of the reason could be why we haven't seen Fraser at this level or what he can do because of the level of opponent he's been put in as an Olympian? Should he have had those tougher fights earlier? Should he have been the one that was built quickly?
Well, I think, you know, he boxed that World Boxing Series, which was no head guards and stuff like that. So he sort of like had a little taste of that. So, you know, he done well in the Olympics, winning a bronze medal. And you go, so the process was going to be quicker. It was always going to be quicker. I think if he wins this fight, it's his 9th fight tomorrow. If he wins that fight, he's the quickest ever to win the British heavyweight title. So that tells you where it's sort of sat. He's going for it. They're taking a big gamble. You know, forget the purse bids, and he pulled out the purse bids last time. Ben Schlom done that on his terms because that was the right thing to do. Fraser wasn't ready then. He hadn't had the experience. He's had that 10 rounds now with Marius Wack. You know, she's had that experience, and that's good for for the mindset of a fighter because you know you got it in the bag. So, yes, it's a really interesting one because now it's down to Fraser. We know what it is. It's now down to Fraser, and if Fraser Clarke can step up, we got a serious fight, like I say. But Fabio, we know what he can do. I interviewed Fabio yesterday, and I said to him, "Listen, mate, are you prepared to go to that? Are you prepared to go to that dark place? Are you prepared to?" And he laughed at me, And he went, what a silly question. And when he said it, I thought, you're right. Why? Because he's been there. He has been there. And he went, that's where I like to go. He went, I'm going to flip this, Spence. Ask Fraser, is he prepared? He went, because that's where he's going to go. He said, I've been there. That's where he's going to go. And that's where we're going to find out about him. So I was like, well, that's a great answer. And, you know, and that sort of pretty much sums it up. He's been there. He's not been there. So we're all going to have an opinion on who we think is going to win and everything else. But, you know, as it starts out, you go, Wardley's the favourite for them reasons. Because he's proven. So
Ben Whittaker, the talk of the town, the man that's not afraid to dig his heels in and stand up for what he believes in as well. We saw a little bit on the live stream where he confronted Andy Clarke about the disrespectful comments. Andy Clarke stood his ground, but then Ben questioned him back, looked to say that I don't agree with you. Your thoughts on that? Because I thought, you know what, if you can give criticism, you should also be able to take some back.
But you know what? This is where I'm at with Ben Whittaker, right? This is where I'm at with Ben Whittaker, and people must understand and appreciate this, because we live in a world of people that criticise and put people down and, oh, this is disrespectful, he's too much showboating, he's too flash and everything else. Appreciate what we've got. And I tell you why I say appreciate what we've got, because they go, oh, will he be able to do it at that level? They said that about Naseem Hamed. Me and Naseem Hamed grew up as kids. We sparred together from 11, 12, 13, right up until we were 17, boxing for England. Naseem Hamed always done that. And the big question was, oh, this kid's too flashy, you know, he's too arrogant. He won't be able to do that when he gets to a certain level. Look at Tom Boom Boom Johnson. Look at Fadzquez. Look at what he done to those guys. Look at Steve Robinson. They were world champions. And you look at what he done to them. He's still done that showboat, and he's still done it. And people learn to appreciate it and go, do you know what? I actually love it. We live in a world of entertainment. And the kid entertains, right? So let's get off his back and enjoy the ride. That's where I'm at with it. I just go, there's too much criticism around this. Oh, he shouldn't have given him a backhand. You know, oh, that's disrespectful. That's boxing. Right, so when he does that, so tell you what that does, that then gets inside the guy's head and his opponent's head. So his opponent, who's got his game plan's now gone out the window. He's thinking about something else. So who's right? Ben says to me, when I spoke to him, I interviewed him yesterday again, he said to me, you know what? I don't even know I'm going to do it. He said, I just do it. He just do it. He goes, you know, anyone that knows Ben Whittaker outside of boxing knows that he's a lovely kid. He's a genuine guy, right? But he does that, and it's just instinctive what he does, right? He does that, and that works because his opponent then's thinking, my head's gone. So he's won, because it's all about the mind games, and it's not just the physicalities, it's about the mindset and the mind games and the psychological battle. And Ben Whittaker does that. So what I'm going to say to that is, let's enjoy the ride, because we don't get superstars come along often in this country, and he's one of them. He's taking the baton. He's going to be the big name of British boxing. That is a fact, right? Because I've seen enough boxers in my time to go, I know this kid will do it at a level. I know that he'll do it at British level. I know that he'll do it at European. I know that he'll do it at world level, because that is implemented in his style.
You know what? It's so refreshing to hear such a positive take on it, because I'm obviously, you know, you read what is out on social media, and sometimes, you know, the media itself has really like tried to grab him by the throat. It's like, but I say, look, I'd rather him be himself now, show his colours now, than years later he just pops up with this new personality.
Absolutely. And you know what? He's made his bed now as well. So what I'm saying is, he's made his bed. He goes, right, this is my style. This is what I'm going to do. This is how it is. I'm flamboyant. What's happening? Who's going viral at the moment? Who's getting all the views? Like, who's getting all the views and the viral views and the clicks and everything else? So he's doing what he should be doing, because people are watching it. Love it or hate it, Marmite or not, right? You're going to watch it. And that is what that is. So he's achieving what he's trying to achieve. If you know him as an individual, like Naseem Hamed, they're beautiful people, but they're showmen. And we live in that world, man. So, like, I get the next generation, they're going to all really enjoy it. I know it offends some people, but for me, I love it, I go, because if you can do it, mate, you've made your bed, now you're going to have to keep doing it. And if you can keep doing it, you're a superstar. And I think he can.
I absolutely love that positive energy coming out of there for Ben Whittaker. Spen, there's so many things that I want to ask you, but one of the things that's sort of like in the media, I mentioned it to Johnny Nelson, where there's an article saying that there's some uncertainty about Sky Sports saying in boxing. Can you reassure the British public, the British boxing fans that have kind of like, I've grown up with Sky Sports boxing. Is that actually the case, or is it I don't know. What is it? Where has that uncertainty come from?
I really don't know where that's come from. I'm pretty sure that Sky Sports will stay in boxing. Why will they stay in boxing? Because as in British boxing broadcast. Why will they do that? Because boxing is now a mainstream sport. It used to be a niche market. It used to have small fight crowds. Now it's an event. You know, the guy that loves boxing, his wife goes, and she don't even like boxing. She goes there because it's an event. You know, they fill stadiums now. They didn't do that back in my day. It was like you'll call, you'd be lucky to fill 1,500 people. That was the reality of it. You know, the geezer smoking in the corner and all that sort of stuff. It's all changed now. It's very glamorous. Boxing is a mainstream sport that gets big numbers. Women's boxing, you know, has transformed that as well. You know, that women's boxing has evolved the way it's evolved, so it's become even bigger. So the answer to that is, I think I'd find it very difficult to believe that Sky Sports were coming out of it, because Sky Sports as a package, boxing is a major part of that. You know, so as a business, you'd be silly to come out of it. It doesn't make any sense. Boxing is a mainstream sport, so yeah. So whoever set that rumour alight, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
And that's a good thing to hear. I need to ask you as well. Obviously, the news came out about the BBFC and NDAP upholding their, right to not allow the suspension to run with Conor Benn. I'm someone that doesn't really get involved in the drug side of it because I don't understand it. I don't know the ingrained facts. We've got all this stuff about strict liability. But does it seem, from what you've heard, what we've read, that basically his legal team have tried to attack the process rather than attacking the results and therefore proving contamination?
Absolutely, looking for a loophole in the system, really. Then that's sort of what it is, you know. Look, he's failed 2 tests. The Boxing Board of Control have said, look, it's strict liability. Come and stand in front of us and prove your innocence, because we really, really want you, like we all do. Conor Benn was going to be a massive star in this country, lovely kid as well. This is not a personal attack on him. It's about boxing, and people must understand that. And you go, they've gone. You've got to show, we've done that. He's gone basically up yours. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go elsewhere. And they've got, the jurisdiction was lifted, allowed him to go and fight elsewhere. Now they've appealed it. And now they've appealed it, they've won the case. UK and Boxing Board have won the case. And so now it's uncertain what happens here. But I don't know if the ban then goes globally again on Conor Benn and whether he can box or not again. I'm uncertain of all that. But what I do know is the British Boxing Board of Control in UCAD won the appeal against Conor Benn. So therefore he now has to go in front of them and answer the questions. And that's all we've asked. And if you're innocent, you would do that, surely. Or because we've had scientists. Oh, I've got a scientist that's proved my innocence. Where is it? I've got doctors that have proved my innocence. Like, where is it? And it was contamination. Like, we're hearing so much. Just give us the answers. It's not difficult. And then we can all move on. He can move on with his career, because it's just going against him. And it's just madness, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is not a personal attack on Conor Benn or anyone. This is about defending the sport of boxing and how important that is. It's a sport where, where people get injured and people die. And we don't want to see anyone with an unfair advantage. And that's where it's at. You failed 2 tests. Okay, if you're innocent, prove it. And it's been going on too long now that you go, well, this is a little bit stupid now. Now the Boxing Board, they were hoping to win that appeal. They didn't win it. Now you have to give your evidence, mate, or you're in shit.
Dillian White, Dillian White recently failed the VADA test, went away, went to ground, got his legal team, did whatever they need to do in the background, and proved contamination. That was announced on Sky Sports. I know he came to yourself and he came to Talk Sport. Yeah. So he's proven contamination. Obviously, he's with the Texas board, their board of control, and has been with them for several years. Say, for example, and I'm going to throw this out there as a wild card, Saudi want maybe him to fight Joel Joyce out there, I don't know. Do you have to be licensed by the BBFC to box on His Excellency's card? Because as far as I'm aware, I don't think Tyson Fury is, but people are saying, well, he's going to have to get on the BBFC to be able to...
No, Tyson Fury has an American license, I'm sure of that. And so, no, yeah, absolutely. So listen, he proved contamination. Dillian White done it the way that it should be dealt with. He went underground, he failed the test, he went underground, he went through loads of different situations to get to where he needed to get to and proved that it was contamination of some supplements or somewhere along them lines, I believe. But he proved his innocence. So therefore, you go, you know what? He's had a year out. Very unfortunate at this stage of his career. Fair play. I'm glad he's come back and he's got he's got his career back on track, and hopefully he can go and get them big paydays. He's proved his innocence. That's all we wanted to hear. So, you know, that's the way it should be dealt with. And you go, can he box elsewhere? Dylan can box anywhere now. Sure, yeah. Yeah, why not Saudi Arabia? Like you say, like Tyson Fury's doing it. I don't think Tyson has a British boxer. Like, don't quote me on that, but I'm sure. I know he did have an American one, but we'll see. We'll see. But look, he done it the right way. That's all I can say.
So in regards to Conor then, you know, what does he need to do? Like I said, it's been nearly 2 years.
Just go in front of the board and prove, you know.
I know it sounds like common sense, but...
They had what I'm saying is, I thought they had the evidence to prove his innocence. Because it's strict liability, you have to prove how it got into your system. They said they had the evidence, so why are they not presenting it? Now now they failed their appeal, the boxing board won the appeal, you go, you need to present it, mate. And then we can all move on. And that's it. And it's not being a hater or anything. And it pisses me off when people go, oh, you're just a hater. You go, not a hater. Just fucking defending the sport of boxing.
Listen, we're going to end it there. I wanted to ask you about it because I know that you'll know more about it. Being a previous fighter, you understand how it works.
I understand the dangers of the sport. I nearly died in the ring. So what I'm saying is that's why I get quite passionate about a level playing field. And you know, performance enhancing drugs, etc., etc. If anyone, I don't care who it is, if they foul, I'm pulling them out. You know what I mean? Whether they're a friend or not. Me and Conor used to have a very good relationship. Unfortunately, that's broke down now because I'm saying, present the evidence, mate, and we can all crack on. But it is what it is. You know, it's I'm quite passionate about that because I just, you know, we see too many people getting injured in the ring, and so you just want it to be a level playing field. And I'll always take that stance.
I like to end on a positive. Then, what can we expect from Boxer and Sky Sports in relation to schedules coming up in the future?
Listen, I think that we've got, they got some good schedules coming up. You're going to get some stadium fights. I think we're going to get...
What's the yard?
Possibly. You know, Billam Smith and Riakpur. You know, there's some big shows coming up. This one on tomorrow night though is huge. You look at it. You got 6 fights there, 6 main fights. You know what I mean? I love the Chris Congo Florian Marku fight. You know, I love the who is he? That's the best fight, by the way. That is the best. That is the best fight. That is the best fight. Like, as in for entertainment value. Both guys are going to go out there, old time pub brawl, and it's going to be brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be one of those fights that, I'm really looking forward to. So look, the whole show is brilliant. It really is.
Always a pleasure. I can't wait to catch up with you again. Spencer Oliver, October Red, until the next time.
No problem. And just a quick shout out as well to Vidal Riley and Mikael Lawal. That's a great fight as well because that's for the English title, and it's again a coming of age fight for Vidal as well, which is another great fight on the card as well. So really looking forward to that one.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.